Like the electrical system that powers your house, electricity also powers your body and your sight. Measuring brain waves or electrical activity at the brain's visual cortex is just one of the new advances in optometry to assess vision on a microscopic level. At SVC, new instruments are making it possible to improve vision clarity and diagnose and monitor eye conditions that can affect your health. The Diopsis Nova VEP and the Eye Profiler offer revolutionary ways of peering into the pathways of sight.
Our newest instrument that we've added to the office in the last 2 months has been the Diopsis Nova DN. To better understand how the VEP works, it would be important to note how is the whole visual pathway put together. I guess the easiest thing to think of is that the eye isn't where the vision is interpreted. The eye is really like a camera, and it receives the image. It takes that electrical impulse, converts it to electrical energy, passes it through wires or axons to the back of the brain, where our vision is truly interpreted in special nerve centers that are within our brain. Diopsis VEP is a visually evoked potential, which is like an EEG or EKG of the visual pathway of the brain. What happens with this test is that there's a flicker screen that a patient is watching for just a few seconds, maybe 15 seconds. And while that's happening, there's electrodes that are attached to the head, here, straight ahead, on the temple, and in the back of the brain. The VEP measures not only the amplitude of the signal being transmitted from the eye to the back of the brain, but it also measures the time. So it's an overall assessment of the health and function of the visual pathway. It's a non-invasive way in which we can assess the functioning of that visual pathway. What kind of things would affect the visual pathway? Well, stroke, brain tumors, multiple sclerosis, lazy eye, glaucoma, different things, anything that would affect the optic nerve, from the optic nerve to the back of the brain. And of course, back here in the back of the head is where all your vision is interpreted. So there's a time lag from when the signal hits the back of the retina to go to the back of the eye, and we know this normals have been established with this piece of equipment, and so we can measure any one patient scan with the normal. Another new piece of equipment that we've recently purchased is the Eye Profiler. The Eye Profiler is a 3-in-1 instrument. It gives us autorefraction, which gives us a ballpark figure on any entering patient's prescription. 2, it gives us a measure of aberration of the visual system of the eye. High-order aberrations are imperfections above and beyond astigmatism, nearsightedness, and farsightedness, and gives us a quantitative measure of those high-order aberrations, which also create blur. The third part of this instrument is a corneal topographer. Topography is important because it allows us to take a 3-dimensional picture of the front of the eye, just like a topography map does from a cartographer. The corneal topography gives us a measure of the surface curvatures of the eye. Certain conditions like keratoconus is an irregular corneal curvature that continues to steepen over time. This instrument is very useful when monitoring those kinds of conditions. We can also generate specific contact lens fits by using the corneal topography measurement. The combination of these 3 testing procedures into one makes the Eye Profiler very useful. In addition, we can take the aberration and refraction readings from this instrument and move it to the front of the office into the dispensing area, where we'll utilize the busy office, which allows us to incorporate these measurements into a personalized, individualized refractive correction, which is the most up-to-date and current within the industry.